Crawford.
Chairman. Well, Chairman, firstly, I want to start by thanking the Ministry of Labour, because since their last attendance, I personally have seen an improvement in the facilitation of the members of Parliament, or of me as a member of Parliament, and their personnel have been coming to meet with my team and going out asking for our list, and I am grateful for that, because we were all adamant that we felt left out initially, and since then have not felt left out in the assessment. Now, I don't know of the information or the decision process for when people get, but the people are also in states of high desire, and they are going to call sometime before it is reasonable to decide. So they have been calling too, but I must commend that I have been engaged. I can't talk for everybody, and the team there must be commended. As it relates to persons that have lost their jobs due to Hurricane Melissa, private and public, but in particular private, what is the policy, the plan to assist? And I'm speaking specifically to persons that are hospitality engaged, both directly to hotels and to hospitality supporting industries that are now closed and expected to be closed for a period of time. What's the plan for those persons?
In terms of those persons who have lost jobs, we know we've been trying to assist persons, not necessarily those in the hotel sector, but those that have come to us in terms of rehabilitation grants that would enable them to maybe start a business or support them through other social intervention in the interim until, because we expect that will see some improvements later on in terms of the opening of the hotel sector in the short to medium term. So we are open to assist where we can once the budget is available. We are also going out to assist persons through job fairs. We've been partnering with entities that have indicated that there are vacancies. And we also encourage persons to submit their resumes on our electronic labor exchange platform that will enable us to match them with jobs that are available as well. So that is the support that we are providing right now.
As it relates to those same people, is there a procedure that they need to follow? Is there a call for applications, or it is really just based on their own initiative?
I wouldn't say there's a call for application, but certainly when we have the job fairs, which we have been ramping up given the circumstances as well, we advertise, we send these out, the flyers out, they're on our social media, we have been sending them out through the parish offices. I'm sure they're going through the MPs as well, several channels, so persons can participate. So that's a channel we have for that. But outside of that, they can contact the parish offices. Our social workers are also on the ground, and they can identify cases and make recommendations to persons as to some of the suite of programs that they can participate in.
Some of those who were on contract, and are there any obligations for payment when these contracts are ended because of closure from the hotels, the private engagers?
Well, I don't want to get into the contractual arrangements that persons would have had with their employers, but that is totally dependent on what their terms and conditions are.
So there is no recommendation from the Ministry of Labour to those persons as to how you would prefer for them to be treated?
Well, if it's a case that I don't know if the arrangement is temporary or if it's a closed contract. Then if the contract is terminated, then the procedures would apply.
We're moving into the realm of speculation because the PS couldn't know what the terms of these contracts are.
No.
Chairman, I don't know if you can allow me to participate in the committee, but I find that you consistently answer the questions I'm trying to understand.
I have to maintain a balance.
I understand the balance, but if the PS
it's
don't have the
difficult
answer,
to ask the PS to comment on
well,
private
Chairman,
arrangements.
I'm trying to figure if there's going to be.
But we give guidance to persons.
but
when they
PS,
reach out to us, we give them the guidance that they need in terms of how they can
there are
proceed.
contracts for which acts of God have had an impact. Force majeure, I believe, is the term. There could be recommendations to these private persons as to how we would prefer for them to act. For these persons who would have broken contract and come back on within 2 weeks. There are some hotels that have indicated that they will not be opening for a year, indicating that persons who were normally independent might become dependent. I'm trying to understand if the Ministry of Labor have engaged these particular persons, entities, with a recommendation of a preference for a treatment, or from a government standpoint with an implementation of a program for these persons. That's really what I'm trying to understand.
And again, I would say it depends on what their contract terms are, but where they need the help, we are available to guide them in how they can move on from their contracts when they are terminated. And as I had indicated earlier, the support that we give to those persons who are unemployed and we may need to venture into support, in businesses, micro or small businesses, we facilitate support to them. We actually have training, we give them guidance, we assist them in resume writing, we take them further so that they can move on to improve their own livelihoods.
Okay. So additionally, we saw the supplemental didn't have a increase in the PATH program. Is there any consideration for persons who once wouldn't have been qualified, but now having lost all their investments, their assets, may be in need of that support? Is there going to be a PATH intervention in the short term?
We continue to register persons for the PATH program. And so where they meet the eligibility criteria, as you know, that's a household benefit. It's not just an individual.
Yes.
So when that household is assessed, if persons meet the criteria, then they can be included.
So there's currently room in the budget for new persons?
Yes, we have room in the budget to accommodate more persons on PATH. And we actually would have made a submission to the Ministry of Finance for persons who are on PATH, the elderly persons who can now move over into social pension, which will allow even more space to accommodate persons. So we do have room, and it's a continuous registration.
What advice, therefore, would you give to Member of Parliaments? Can we host PATH sign-up programs, etc., for persons who might have been affected?
Well, we would expect you to be giving us that information, where those persons are likely to meet the criteria. I mean, the hurricane would have disrupted the session. I did indicate we would have had with MPs on all our programs and, eligibility criteria and so on. But we certainly will be having that at some other point in time. But we welcome the information, member.
Final question. Some students would have lost their uniforms, books, and other necessities for school. Does social service have any program that those persons can be directed to?
We have the emergency and social education and social intervention, where we provide emergency assistance for those persons. So once they provide that information to the social workers on the ground, we can utilize that information to provide the support.
Would that include exam fees as well?
No, we leave exam fees to the Ministry of Education.
Okay. All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
I have a list, but just in a follow-up to Mr. Crawford, while you may not be able to hold the forum or the workshop that you had planned to for MPs, can't you put together a resource package.
I was just gonna say we will collate the
because
brochures and
MP's
so on. So
offices, in a sense, already act as resource centers, a
Yes.
sort of first point of contact for a whole range of needs.
yes,
So if you could share that, an electronic
indeed,
package.
and we have most of that information on the website, and soon we will be launching our MLSS services booklet that you all will access.
Okay, great. All right, Mr. Phillips, then Mr. Clark, and then Ms. Birchall.